leper call me. I'ma come clean. I got beef. Paranoia got me rolling in my sleeves. Okay.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mariota now. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 9, here's 2nd and 9. Second down, Bradford. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half. It's
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the gun, Bradford, and this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Mariota now on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 3rd down, Mariota. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
The catch is made by Kendall Wright. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Bradford on first down. His throw incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A second down throw for Bradford. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Again, it's Bradford. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's second down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll throw again. Bradford fighting a safety valve here. That's complete. Still fighting for more. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Bradford. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave him looking at a 4th and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Butker able to put this one through. So we have reached an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They just get the play off. Now Mariota. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Mariota. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Anderson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Bradford Bradford on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. It put their defense in a really tough spot.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now a second down throw for Mariota. He's going to launch this. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Sammy Watkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And this will be caught at the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Bradford. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. Mariota to throw it this time. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Handoff comes to Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Forced out to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have 1 right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
Here we go, Monday.
To throw on 2nd down. Bradford throwing the out route incomplete. That's right. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Bradford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Play action. Bradford. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kendall Wright, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints are back within a score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So still a little work to do here, but they got the much-needed conversion.
So they got that taken care of. Now you would assume onside kick in order to try and get the ball back again, in order to try and kick at least a tying field goal.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Throwing here, Mariota. Flushed out right. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Mariota looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Mariota to throw. And this is caught. That's Watkins. Touchdown, Cowboys. Sammy Watkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Here's Bradford. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now Bradford. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Here's Bradford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Throw left side, caught by Butler. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. He's back to throw. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go, Monday.
Back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. One last shot now for Bradford. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.